Do you know, some people have asked me in the past, what would you say to your younger self if I could have the chance? And I genuinely didn't know what I would say. I used to say something silly or funny and then just carry on doing whatever I was doing. But there's a big debate at the moment about the UK prisons, whether they're fit for purpose, whether they work, etc. And take me for example. Last year, July the 14th, was the 10-year anniversary of me being out of prison. It was a... Alright mate. 10 years out of prison. It was from the age of 15 to 33, I was in and out 22 prisons. What you don't realise, when I look back at that 15-year-old, or 16, however I was, 1996, Portland had just turned from a borstal to a young offenders institute, but the officers there, all ex-military, they used to wear caps and carry wooden batons. Some of you youngsters probably never even seen something like that apart from on a TV programme. But I think back at that young lad and I was sat in the reception of the prison and I was I was scared, but I was scared, and I was so innocent. What I didn't realise was that this is the irony behind it. The judge said to me, right, we've had enough of you. We're gonna take you somewhere where you're gonna learn how to function in normal society. And that is seriously ironic because it does the exact opposite. What I didn't realise at the time was that innocence of that 16-year-old boy was just about to be rubbed out forever. And what you don't realise, I used to come out of jail and I would walk around the town and regale stories of, you know, this, that and the other. And certain stories stick out in my mind. 3 genuine attempts on my life where I nearly died. One was because I was poisoned over a game of pool. Because, well, it doesn't really matter, but it was over a game of pool. And the guy decided to kill me with his medication by putting it in my coffee. Basically, I nearly had a heart attack because all the muscles around my heart were squeezing up and it would have stopped my heart. Another was in Woodhill Prison, which I think at the time, if my facts are correct, was the most dangerous 3 square miles or whatever in Europe at the time, because of most of the terrorists that were in there and, you know, just fellas that just didn't give a fuck, right? And I moved from one jail to that jail, and I had some prayer mats in my bag which I used to make my cell look nice, and I put them on the floor and I was tidying my cell, and a Muslim geezer came in and he said, "Take those off the floor." I didn't like the way he spoke to me. I told him to fuck off. Next thing, he's came back with 3 of his mates. Well, him and 2 of his mates. He had a blade. He wanted to kill me. And unbelievably, the last prison I was in, before that, I was in with a geezer called Keith Harvey, who's on my Facebook. A very good friend of mine. He runs most of the judo gyms. He used to run all the doors in Nottingham, and he got judo gyms. Shout out to Zen Judo, Nottingham. Shout out to Keith Harvey, a man that saved my life. We used to, in the cell, we would roll up our mattress and do all sorts of things. We used to pretend that, it was someone, and it was so funny, because he's also, he was trained in close protection and all this sort of stuff, and some of the things he taught me I didn't realise at the time, and I didn't realise it was going to save my life the next year, because they came into my cell with a blade, and before I'd met Keith, I probably would have tried to run through them and get out of there, but I didn't. I slipped off my sliders, and I stood at the back of the cell. And as soon as the first one came to me, bang, it was just all over in a split second, but I lived. And the third one was when I was stabbed in Wales over a fucking bowl of chips. Anyway, that's just 3 of the stories of the 3 attempts on my life. Some of the things that I went through over those 22 prisons, some of the things I seen, you don't realise how much it's damaging you until, as I say, 10 years I've been out of prison now. I decided that's it, enough's enough. I got with this girl, Katie. I've been, Tiffany, Colette, all good girls who had my best intentions at heart. But the fact of the matter is, I cannot function in normal society. I remember when I first got with Katie, and I was looking at her, and she said, "What are you looking at?" And I said, "Do you know, being with you shines a light on me and how fucked up I am." It was just normal. We were just sat in the lounge watching telly, but I was just looking at her, and she said, "What are you looking at?" And I said, genuinely, it just came from the heart. Being with you shines a light on me. Now I got a comparison because I'm with this girl. She's fucking amazing. Great mother, best fucking person I've ever met. We've had some great times. Cooking and going out. All sorts. Don't have to get into the details, but I genuinely one day we were watching A Star Is Born, and I just burst out crying. She said, "What are you crying?" I said, "That geezer on there just reminds me of me." Not the singing or the looks. He's much better looking than me, much better singer, but some of the things he was doing, and you don't realise. You don't realise at the time. Yeah. Everyone's told me, shouting at night, I can't sleep. I don't sleep. I don't function normally. Basically, the other day, I was in a place and a geezer came in and he was talking to me. And on retrospect, he probably what he didn't realise, he was talking to me a little bit aggressively, right? And a normal fella would probably just say, look mate, blah blah blah, and just deal with it, yeah? But he talked to me with a bit of aggression in his voice, and then what he didn't realise was when he stepped into where I was and closed the door behind him, it flicked a switch in my head. Because anyone that knows has been in a British prison, if somebody comes into your cell and closes the door behind them, it's on. So I just fucking hit him. And he slid down the bastard fucking... Anyway, I hit him. Luckily enough, I got away with it. But I just went on a bender again. What you don't realise, all you young'uns out there with your face masks on, acting gangster and all the rest of it, yeah? What you don't realise is, if you do go into that life, yeah, and live that life, it fucking takes something from you. It takes your innocence. And you cannot function in normal society. I cannot. I need crutches, drugs, alcohol. And the trouble is with the drugs and the alcohol, yeah, it turns you into a fucking dickhead. Yeah? But it's hard. I know. I can see. The thing is with me, I'm intelligent enough to see exactly what I'm doing. I can come outside of myself and look down and say, Eric, what the fuck are you doing? You've got a girl there, a woman, who loves you, and her 2 daughters fucking love you, and you love them, and you're just fucking it up. And I say to myself, I know, but I can't help it. I just stop these things going on in my head. Take me back to that 15-year-old kiddie. Turn him into a man. Don't put me in those institutions, yeah, and expect me to come out and function like a normal member of society, because it ain't gonna fucking happen, and it's not happening. I've lost a daughter, Georgia, through it. I've lost so many jobs I cannot count. Being with Katie, I've been with Katie for, well, we're not together anymore. She split up with me, and quite rightly so. But we were together for, I don't know, over a year, 15, 16 months. And in that time, I had maybe over 10 jobs, because I just cannot keep a job. And I cannot keep a fucking relationship, do you know what I mean? And, yeah, I don't know what to fucking do, do you know what I mean? I've been to Kennedy Way doctors, and I've sat there on the little seat and said, I've said it, I've done it. And I said, I need help. Like, he said, well, what's wrong? And I said, well, I don't know. Because the thing is with your brain, like when I broke both my legs, yeah, or when I was stabbed, right, the doctor will fix it. And you can visually see that it's being fixed, and you can visually see that it's being repaired, it's getting repaired. But with the brain, you just don't know the damage that's going on. And so I couldn't answer him. I don't know what's wrong, but I just know something's wrong. And I just left he gave me a leaflet. I left with a leaflet, you know? And I just read it, and I just chucked it in the bin. But yeah, it's just funny. I just don't know what this video is, but I just needed to get it out. I just want to say sorry to everyone. My mum, my dad, and Katie, Georgia, Colette, Tiffany, Frankie. Bloody, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to do anything stupid, I'm going to work, but I just needed to get it out, because that's another thing that it takes. I ain't got no fucking friend, apart from one, but yeah, this is what it is. But yeah, unbelievable. So yeah, if you want to like sort of, you know, if you want to know are British prisons working, they do not work. They do the absolute opposite. Yeah. I've got so many skills. It's unbelievable. Barbering, building, painting and decorating, cooking, whatever. I could go and do whatever fucking job. Manual stuff, do you know what I mean? But some of them geezers in there, they couldn't even write their own fucking name. What chance have they got, you know? And I genuinely worry about them. It does genuinely worry me, like. What? But yeah, if I can't do it, with all the help I had, my mum, my dad, always behind me, got out, Katie, everything. Just, takes everything.